Can you guys see me? Yeah, it looks like you can see me. Cool. What's up, guys? Kiko here. Just randomly wanted to do a video right now. We can call it a rant video, I guess. I haven't done a lot of rant videos in the past because just didn't feel like I had much to rant about. But I've had a few things come up lately that just really annoying, or whatever the case may be. So I just thought I'd talk about those a little bit. I'm really getting tired of seeing videos that are being posted all over YouTube about like every time somebody, there's a couple of people in mind. I'm not going to say their names. Not going to say their names right now. But people who just like to constantly bash stuff just because they feel like it. I'm gonna take tour guide for example. There are some people out there that will just make tons and tons of videos saying, you know, tour guide's shitty, tour guide's not worth using, tour guide's not worth $170, blah 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 blah. You know, and lately with Rescue Rabbit, people just like to make videos and, you know, oh, Rescue Rabbit sucks, blah blah blah, Rescue Rabbit, oh my god, it's another secret rare, oh my god, it's blah blah blah, it's 100 and this or this dollars, blah blah blah. I understand people in this game wanting to play decks that they want to play that are competitive or whatever. I understand when Konami comes out with a high rarity card that everybody wants it. But I want to throw a couple of things out there to you guys. First of all, when people complain about a high price tag of a card, that's not Konami's fault. That's not the fault of the rarity. It is the fact that the card is so good that everybody wants to use it, and everybody and their mom is trying to get them. If Rescue Rabbit was a rare, or Tour Guide was a rare, they would still be freaking stupid expensive. They wouldn't be expensive to the extent of what it is now because it is a secret rare, but it would still be expensive to the extent of a rare. It would be very expensive because everybody would want to run a Rescue Rabbit based deck. And then all you're going to do is play against Rescue Rabbit based decks. I don't think that Konami comes out with cards and makes them easy to get for every single person out there to play. They are there. They're not there mainly for the game. They are there to sell packs. They are there to sell booster boxes. They want us to buy their booster boxes. So, who's at fault for the high price tags of cards? We are. The players are. Has nothing to do with Konami. Has very little to do with the rarity. The rarity does have some impact. So, don't comment below saying the rarity does have an impact and I'm just screwing up on that. I realize rarity has an impact. But if the card's good, it's good. Formula Synchron's, they were like 15, 20 bucks at their height. They may have even gone up to like 25 at one point. It was a rare. It was a rare that could be thrown into almost every deck. Rescue Rabbit will be so good in lots of decks. It'll be good in the Evols. It could be good in like Jirax, that type of thing, if you wanted to throw certain other monsters in there. But to make it work with the dinosaurs, it's going to be fantastic in the Gym Knights. There are going to be many other decks that are going to come out that are going to be working really good with Rescue Rabbit. But these people like to get on there and just complain and constantly say a card is bad. How are you going to sit there and say that Tour Guide is a bad card overall? It's not a bad card overall. It's a fantastic card. If you can't afford a tour guide, or if you can't afford to buy packs, or something like that, that's fine. I can't go out and buy another tour guide right now if I wanted to, which I actually need one for my deck. I need one. I have the funds to do it, but I am not going to go out and buy a tour guide right this second. But I will tell you guys how broken and how amazing tour guide is with every, like almost any kind of deck. Almost any kind of deck you could throw it in there. But I'm going to say that I can't go out and buy one right this second. I'm going to say that I don't have an extra one floating around in a trade binder or in a deck book, somewhere like that. So for the moment, it's proxied. And if it's something like, oh, you don't have Dimensional Prison, wow, my light went out. That sucks. Let me get my light back. That sucked. There we go. Look at that. Jeez. Anyway, you know, if you don't have a card like that, like you need a D prison or something, what do? You throw a Mirror Force in there, you throw a Bottomless Trap Hole in there. Something like that, and you say, yeah, I wish I had it, but, you know, I don't right now, so I'm going to use this card instead. I know people say that to be competitive, you know, you have to run these high-pressure decks, high-cost decks. The thing is, guys, these people like Billy Brake, these people like Ryan Spicer, Chris Bowling, Jarrell Winston, all these guys, they have the funds and the cards to trade to pick up other stuff. But 10 years ago, you know, 5 years ago, did they all have that? No, not necessarily. They had to trade. They had to, you know, spend a little bit of extra money. We all had to do things to get where we are now in the game. Things just aren't handed to us. When I first started the game, it was right when Rescue Cat was banned, and not Generation Force, what am I saying? D-Rev, Duelist Revolution was just coming out. Pot of Dualities were $100 at their peak, $180, $200. Solemn Warnings were $90, $85. You know, Effect Veilers were going super high, and this was before reprints of all these cards. I wanted to play Gravekeepers, but I couldn't afford the Pot of Dualities to play them. I didn't have a playset of Solemn Warnings until YCS Dallas of last year. You know, and then I constantly upgraded. I didn't have a lot of good stuff overall. I had to really work, save up cash. And if you're younger and you say, you know, I can't, that's okay. It doesn't matter. But the competitive guys, like all these people, Billy Brake, all these guys that are winning YCSs and playing high, Austin Coleman, all these other people, they've worked there. They didn't just come out of nowhere and start. And so there were cards that they wish they used to have back in the day when they couldn't afford them. You know, they couldn't get them. I wasn't around back in the time, you know, where this may have been taking place, so I can't give you exactly like amazing card options, but I guess things like Dark Arm Dragon when it was a secret rare, Judgment Dragon, Crush Card Virus when it was a gold rare, and that was it. Everybody wanted them, but there were a lot of people that couldn't afford them. You know, so that's, you know, I guess I just get sick and tired of everybody bashing on a card, you know, stuff like that, saying it's bad. Now, if you think Rescue Rabbit isn't as good as what people say it is, like maybe the Dark Worlds, when people came out and said Dark Worlds, give me a reason. Don't be a smartass and sit there and go, because you're going to get clogged hands and blah, 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 and just try to act like an asshole. But say, you know, the fact that you have to run 6, maybe even more normal monsters in the Rescue Rabbit deck, and the potential is for you to open up double Sabersaurus and an MST and like no back row protection for your monsters, that can suck. But that is the rest of the deck. That is not the card Rescue Rabbit. The card Rescue Rabbit is great. When you have it in your hand, summon it, banish it, bring out 2 level 4 lower normal monsters of the same name, and exceeds. That's fantastic. It's great. I hope you guys see what I'm trying to get across here. I'm not trying to be an asshole and say, you know, if you can't afford good cards, you're bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I can't afford good cards all the time. It takes me a long time to build up to be able to get something. You know, I work very hard for this game. I work very hard for stuff outside of this game. And so I just want people to know that, you know, just running around acting like a dick, saying that cards are, you know, sucky just because maybe you can't get it, or you're upset that it's a high rarity card. I'll tell you a perfect example of kind of what I'm talking about when I say this. Cyber Knight 8610, most of you guys probably know who he is. He does not like when a lot of cards come out high rarity. Secret rare, stuff like that. I've noticed this from watching his videos. He likes them to be a little more attainable to get. But he doesn't bash the card and say that it's a shitty card. He just says, man, I wish they would have come out with it as an Ultra. It probably would have made a better Ultra. They could have made this secret rare. Would have made it a little bit better for the game. Gosh dang it, there goes my light again. Well, you guys can sit here and listen for 20 seconds. But anyway, he does a great job of not bashing on cards, saying that, you know, he wishes rarities were different. I respect him for that. He waits and uses his resources later on to get a hold of the cards he wants. Link for him down below. Y'all go sub to him. He's a good guy. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video. It's about 10 minutes through the video. Please comment, rate, subscribe. I hope you guys don't bash me for the rant. Just trying to get a point across. Thanks.